Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing this amazing morning? Let me move me down because I'm too high. All right. How's everybody doing this amazing morning? Let's see who's in the building. Grand Rising, Patricia K. She says, I'm blessed and open to receive all that is meant for me. Yes, give me every single thing with my name on it because I want it. I want it all. I want to leave nothing on the table, right? I want everything. Good morning, Linda. I'm blessed and present. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Grand Rising, Tina. Grand Rising. Good morning, Miss Pascal. Good morning, Deltra. Good morning, Yvette. Welcome, Yvette. Thank you for joining. Good morning, Miss Lois. Good morning, Trina. Good morning, Denicia. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Betty Rose. She says she is blessed. Yes, yes, yes. Good morning, Michi. Good morning. Good morning, Sade. She says she's hashtag blessed. Okay. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, cousin. I thought you wasn't gonna be here. You done with at the doctor's already? Hey, candle makers. Does any of you know where I can get a small glass vessels for favors? I can't find the one. I can't find the one in size I need. Please help. Thanks. They have the little 3-ounce votives on why are my hands so red on the inside? They have those little 3-ounce votives on Candlewick. Good morning, sis. Good morning, Chantel. Let me congratulate Alejandro just in case I won't be on if Patricia comes on. What are we? There's a lot to congratulate Alejandro on, but the latest thing, they were in DC, so I don't know if that's the last thing. We'll see. Good morning, Georgetta. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, Jasmine. Thank you for stopping by before you go to work. Listen, I got to try my pen. I'm trying it this morning. I charged everything up. Now I should be good and ready to go. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning. Good morning, Lakeisha Keisha. Good morning. Congrats to Alejandro, Patricia, and to Patricia on being an amazing mom. Patricia is on it. She is so on it. This lash is bugging me this morning, but she is here. Oh, all right. She is here. All right, everybody. How are you doing? How was your yesterday? Yesterday we were speaking about fibroids, we were speaking about health concerns, and everybody agreed that we should do it a little more. I didn't know if I was going to be like out of place by talking about it, and I didn't know if everybody was going to be, comfortable and want us to actually continue with it. But everybody, we got a good response from it. So I'm definitely going to be incorporating some health topics in our coffee with Nikki's, and I'll probably do some wellness and all of that other stuff too, because a lot of us get stressed out, and sometimes we get into the dark places, sometimes we just have anxiety, sometimes we just have so many different emotions going on, so many different things going on, and so we need to kind of like normalize it that we are going through a million different things as humans, as women, right? And so that is what we are going to be discussing. So yes, yes, and yes, y'all. Today, he is the cutest. Yes, my friends are so proud of you. Yes. Let me see. We're good. We had a radio interview last night. Oh, nice. Congratulations on your radio interview. That's amazing. That's okay. That's okay. It's still good stuff, right? Still good stuff. I've been seeing everyone's content. Super proud of you guys. There you go, Patricia. You must have heard your ears ringing. You must have heard your ears ringing. Cousin Latrice said she is so so proud of Alejandro. I don't know what's going on. Oh wow, I missed that. I had a laparoscopic. Oh yes, yes, yes. We were talking about that yesterday. Yesterday, and it seemed like a lot of us we are experiencing it. A lot has also have had the surgery, and a few had some surgeries that were not really good. So yeah, we were talking about all of that yesterday. All of that yesterday. So we will definitely be incorporating a whole lot more self-care, health tips and things like that, just because we can, as a community, a lot of people were saying that they didn't have anybody to speak to about certain things. And so if you don't have anybody to speak to about certain things, or somebody to inform you maybe so you can make an informed decision, then that that's going to mess up what kind of choices that you have, what kind of options you have, because you think that you have no options if you just solely listening to what the doctor says. And sometimes the doctor doesn't have your best interest at heart. So if you don't have my best interest, then you're not going to basically tell me what's best for me. You know what I'm saying? And so we need to start educating ourselves and start getting comfortable with having these kind of conversations, because if we don't have these kind of conversations, where there's going to be a whole lot of complications, due to people being on different kinds of medication or not even knowing that they had other options. So we will definitely be incorporating that into our morning routines. Good morning, Kay. She said, happy Winning Wednesday. Yes, good morning, Yolanda. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, so today, we are talking about motivation. Make sure everybody hit that thumbs up button. Make sure that y'all hit the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Please share this video with a friend if you think that they would enjoy the video or enjoy being a part of the BBU tribe. So today we're going to be talking about motivation. And I wanted to talk about motivation because sometimes we hit a slump, right? We motivated and then we hit a brick wall. We hit a slump and we like, I don't know how to get over this wall. I don't know what to do. Things that I used to do ain't working anymore. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. So if that's the case, I want to make sure that I keep you guys motivated today. Okay, I want to keep you guys motivated today. My daughter was listening. I thought she was asleep. She wanted to get that shot to stop. Oh, wow. Okay. She changed her mind. Wow. 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 I'm so glad that she did. I am so glad that she did. I can't say, the things that work for me work for everybody else, but just that shot in general is just not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Nikki, I reached out to my friend. She's going to come to Real Talk Wednesdays. I told her all about the conversation. Nice, 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 nice. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. And again, if we can open up these conversations, with friends and family, we'll be able to make better and, well-informed decisions on our health choices, right? Because maybe we don't think we have natural alternatives, right? Maybe you don't want to go under the knife. Like I didn't want to go under the knife for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, what can I do in order for that to happen? In order for me not to have the surgery, what could I do? So I needed to be presented with alternatives. And so other people may be presented with the same, need to be presented with the same thing too. So we got to get us together, right? Good morning, Latanya. We got to get it together. So with that being said, we are talking about being motivated. How many of you guys have a problem? Well, I won't say you have a problem, but how many of you guys are extremely motivated and then sometimes it just drops off? I'm real motivated. I'm doing all the things. I'm getting everything done. I'm crossing everything off the list. And then sometimes you just hit a brick wall and it's just like, I'm not motivated. I don't have ideas. I can't think. I don't know what to do. I'm confused. I'm lost. I don't know what to do next. How many of you guys experienced that? Put a 1 in the chat if you have. Put a 2 if you've never experienced it. And I'm gonna share a little story with you guys. A little transparency moment. And complete transparency. No, I'm just joking. But I had a friend. She was like, well, what do you do when you're not motivated? And I think I told this story before, right? She's like, well, what do you do when you're not motivated? And I was like, it was a comment to everybody. And I was like, I don't know what it feels like to never be motivated. I'm always motivated. And I'm right. And so I'm like, if you're not motivated, then just go outside into the world, go do some things, explore some things and try some different things, do some art, do some different things that's going to take you, in different creative directions. Right. Until I hit the slump. Then I hit the slump. Right. I was fine before. right? Because I always found a way to be motivated. And even if I didn't, even if I didn't really feel motivated, I still was moving. So I still kind of felt like I was, I kept up the momentum and I thought that I was motivated until I just hit the slump and I could not figure out what was wrong with me. I could not figure out why I didn't have any ideas. Like, why wouldn't I have ideas? I'm creative AF, right? So why wouldn't I have ideas? Why do I not feel like doing this? Why do I not feel like making this? Why do I not feel like showing up? Like, what is going on with me? And when we are running a business, we are always, it's so many different things going on. There's so many, we're wearing all the hats. You don't have time to focus on being creative. You don't have time to focus on being motivated most times. You don't have time to focus because you're doing all of the other things. And so something has got to give, and it just all of it just shuts down on you. All of it, right? You don't feel like doing anything. And so that is why I wanted to talk about motivation today, because I think that we should all know that it is not something that is unique to one person, that you don't feel motivated all the time, right? I think we all should feel comfortable in knowing that collectively it happens to everybody. It happens to the best of us. It happens to every single person. The most creative person, they'll still have blocks. They'll still have times when they're not motivated to do something. They'll still have times when it's just like, I don't even have a thought in my head, and I feel like I can't act. I feel like I just can't do it. I feel like I can't think. I feel like we have those times. We all have those moments. And since we all have those moments, we need to acknowledge that, right? And we need to acknowledge that sometimes we may have to reset and regroup. We may have to think about what we want to do. We may have to go back to the plan and see what it is and see what the why is. And it'll all go back to what the why is, right? Because the why, a lot of people say, well, what's your why? And that's going to keep you motivated. Sometimes it doesn't, right? I know that, some people will say, well, my why is because I need to make sure that my kids are okay. And I need to make sure that everything happens for my kids. And, my family is my why. But sometimes that why is not that strong. You know what I'm saying? Because you do know you have to take care of your family, but sometimes that's not the thing that's going to get you over that hump. Sometimes that's not going to be the thing that's going to move the needle, right? And so you have to think it's got to be more than, just my family, right? Because it's what is going to move you and make you move from that space that you're in, that dark space that you're in. How are you going to get out of it? Right? And you're not going to get out of it by still digging, because you're going to dig yourself even deeper. Sometimes you need to stay still, think of how you're going to get out, and strategically plan to get out of that hole, right? Strategically plan to get out of the darkness, right? I have to think, I have to regroup. I have to do what I need to do. Let me do something that has nothing to do with business for a second, so that when I come back, I could come back to it with fresh eyes. When I come back to it, I could come back with fresh ears. When I come back I could come back with fresh idea, fresh outlook. So, there are different things that could happen based on, reflection. Right? If you're in it all the time and you just constantly going, you're not going to see a way out of that. And so I want you guys to know that it is normal. I want you guys to know that it's normal. When that happens, I let it happen, and it usually comes back to me. Yep. I did 3 blogs yesterday, wrote 2 on my business and 1 on an ingredient. Awesome. I hooked my blog up to my YouTube, okay, and post 2 videos and 2 YouTube. Oh, look at you. You are busy, Miss Tina. Let's go. I did some social media stuff and learning fast. Good. Right? Okay, so I also want to make sure that you guys know these moments are normal. They happen, right? And it may be happening because it's something else that you need to reflect on. It may be something else that you need to be paying attention to. Maybe that darkness in that moment is bringing you to a point of something you need to reflect on and you need to pay attention to, right? Usually when we have pains in our body, the pains in our body is it's like when it finally shuts us down, it's like, we've been warning you. We've been giving you little hints that it's time for you to go to the doctor. We've been giving you little hints that it's time to get checked out. We've been giving you little subtle hints until it was time for you to, start changing your diet, start doing different things. We've been telling you, we've been giving you different little tips. Giving you different little hints for you to figure this out. But clearly you're not going to know until you have to go to the doctor, because now it's not too far gone, but now it's time for you to really pay attention to it, right? Sometimes you'll have headaches and you don't know why you're having headaches, and you just pay it no mind until you go to the doctor and the doctor said, oh, okay, this is what's going on with you. Oh, this is, you need to relax a little bit. You need to stop stressing out. You need to stop like, we don't pay attention until something like really takes us out. That's with our health. That's with our business. That's with our body. That's with everything. We don't pay attention to it until it's knocking us out. But you have to know that if you take small steps towards improvement, you're definitely going to get it. And nobody is going to stay motivated 100% of the time. Nobody. Right? Motivation, even if you listen to me in the morning, even if you listen to any other motivational speakers in the morning, it's still going to wear off. It's going to wear off, and then you are going to have to figure out how you're going to recharge and feel that motivation and feel that energy and feel that passion again, right? You got to figure that out, because it's just human nature, right? And you also know that it's a growing process. Everything that we do is a growing process. And as long as you are committed to doing a portion of it a day, and I always say, a 1%, do 1% a day. 1% is from Atomic Habits. If you guys have not read that book yet, that's a great book for you to start building habits and things like that, and routine. But if you do 1% every single day to get better, you will. And nobody is born great. Nobody is born great. All of the greats were built, right? All of the greats were formed. They didn't come into this world being great. They didn't come into the world having all the skills, having everything that they needed to be a millionaire, having everything that they needed to be a pop star, having everything that they needed to be an artist, having everything that they needed to be anything, right? They were built. They were formed. It's built by your character. It's built by your experiences. It's built by the time that you were born. And this is also something that was not mentioned, but this is what the book was about, from The Outliers. If you guys read that, Malcolm Gladwell, they are built. You know what I'm saying? And if they can build that greatness, so can you. Yes. If everybody that we know are to be great is amazing and they have such amazing skill, now we need to reflect and we need to think, well, how did that happen? What did they do? They didn't start out that way. And since they didn't start out that way, then what did they do to get that? If they had to do all of that to become great, I can also do the same thing to be great. I can also build myself up. I can also learn new skills so that I could have enhanced knowledge or enhanced experiences, or be great, to be the greatest, right? You have to know that these things, you have to build on that, right? What we do is, because we're looking at everybody's highlight reel on social media, we're looking at everybody's success stories in business, and we're not actually paying attention to the fact that everybody had to start from 0 to get to 100. You don't just get to 100. You don't just come born with the wisdom, right? We was talking about that, right? You don't just become wise. You have to be foolish in order for you to become wise, right? It's all about a process. And so you have to be comfortable with knowing that there is some things that you are going to have to learn. No, you may not have it right now, but if you take the time to develop these skills, if you take the time for education, if you take this time for personal growth, if you take these time to learn the skills, you can be just as great. Michael Jordan didn't start out great. Kobe Bryant didn't start out great. None of the greats started out great. And I'm definitely going to be talking about, because I love Kobe and I love Michael Jordan. They are two of my favorite basketball players. And just to know how it started and how it ended, you know what I'm saying? It should give you some hope. It should give you some inspiration. You should be inspired that they did start from nowhere and they became the greatest in the game. How did they become the greatest in the game? Because they did the work in the dark. They did the work when nobody was watching. They didn't need anybody to applaud them. They didn't need anybody to tell them, yes, 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 you're doing such an amazing job. They didn't need that. What they needed was they needed to be motivated to be the greatest, right? Because the main stretch thread of what it took for them to be great was that nobody is going to outwork me. I'm going to do what it takes, no matter what it takes, and get this job done because I'm going to be the greatest. It is something that they had to say in their mind. It was a mindset shift that made them understand that in order for me to be the greatest, I need to do the work. Not, oh, I got this and I'm a coach with what I got, because usually that's the problem. And that's the thing. And I tell y'all all the time when I talk about my son, that's the thing with my son. My son has talent, right? And you have the talent, but you don't think that you need to do the work. And you need to do the work because people who don't have the talent, all they have to do is outwork you. And as long as they outwork you, they're going to be better than you, right? And so you have to have that mentality that if you want to be the best, that nobody is going to outwork you, right? I'm not going to be outworked. I'm going to do the job. I'm going to do the things that I need to do. I'm going to stay on task. I'm going to make sure I take the classes and do the work and do the things in order for me to get to the level that I want to get to. So I want everybody to just feel comfortable in knowing that it's going to take some time for you to get to the level that you want to get to, but you have every single thing that you need in order to get there. Yes, yes, and yes, everybody. Yes, yes, and yes. Put it in the chat. Let me see what you guys are saying. Yes, yes, and yes. Put that right in the chat. Yes, there are moments when I feel fantastic, but unexpectedly, feelings of unhappiness and self-doubt emerge. Yes. Practicing affirmations and journaling has been beneficial. Yes. But there are days when all I desire is a reprieve. Okay. Indeed, these moments are essential as they contribute to our growth and foster a heightened sense of presence and self-awareness. Absolutely. I needed this morning. Nice to know someone understands. Yes, I know all too well. Yes, yes, yes. Finding moments to do things that you truly enjoy, not just biz. Yes. I keep myself from my other hobbies because I feel like it's not productive. Okay. But when I can treat myself with my me time, it's renewing. Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah, social media is starting to get on my nerves. I'm telling you, you got to take a break from the social media because everybody is only showing you the good points. A lot of the times you don't see, and you only see they'll show you their bad times because they reached like the heightened heights, and then they'll show you their bad times, but they're not showing you along the way. Sometimes you get to see that. Sometimes people are really, really showing you how authentic they are and being true to themselves. They'll show you them crying and show you struggling with sales before they got to that heightened or before they made it to the 6, 7, 8 figures, right? They'll show you that because they were committed to showing you the journey. And so you got to see that, but everybody don't show that. And so when everybody doesn't show that, not saying that you're dependent on somebody else to show you, this is what they've experienced, but it just gives you like, oh, it's a human thing. I feel better knowing that I know that somebody else is feeling what I'm feeling. The same reason why I started this group is because I wanted people to know that there are other people who are trying to do the same thing. You're not the only person out here that's struggling. You're not the only person out here trying to find your way. You're not the only person out here that's trying to learn a skill or trying to learn something. And I never wanted anybody to feel like they felt rejected because, a group or people weren't welcoming to them, trying a new journey or, embarking on a new journey. Yes. I have to watch what I'm consuming. Yep. Because that comparison creeps back in. Yes, indeed. And no one posts the struggles on social media. Absolutely. Absolutely. But they're there in every single business. Absolutely. They are. They are. I'm blessed and highly favored. That's right, Tiffany. Yes, yes, and yes. I'm driving, but but no, I'm yes, yes, and yes, and you the whole drive. All right. Thank you, Trina. So Yes, we know that we are going to have to do some work in order for us to be great. These are the moments in the journey that is going to make it all worth it. Why? Because you know that where you are right now is not where you're going to end up. The possibilities are infinite, right? You can do anything that you want. You can be and go anywhere that you want. It's not just a cliche. It's not just a saying. If you could see it in your mind's eye, it can happen. It can happen. The only thing that you need to believe is that you got to believe it in your heart that you could do it, right? I can see it in my head. I can see that it could happen, but how can I make it happen? I got to have the heart. I have to make sure that I am able to commit and dedicate myself to the grind, to the hustle, to the enrichment. I got to make sure that I'm doing all of the things that are going to help me develop the character that I need to be great, right? Greatness does not happen overnight. Steph Curry don't shoot from all over the court and get the shot just because he's never practiced or just because he only worked in practice. Steph Curry works after practice, before practice, on off season, on, like, he's always working, right? Because in order to be that great, you've got to work when everybody else isn't working. Because how else are you going to get the edge? Eric Thomas says he wakes up before everybody else. He says he's not the smartest. He's not the most motivated speaker in the world, but he said he's going to do everything that he has to do in order so that he can be the number one motivational speaker in the world, right? He saw the numbers and he was like, I'm catching up. You may have had more experience than me. You may have gotten your PhD. You may have had more schooling than me. You may not have dropped out of high school. You may not have eaten out of garbage cans or whatever. But I'm going to show you that what I have and what I came with, I'm going to make what you have better. I'm going to make myself better than what you have. Right? I'm going to make myself better. Why? Because I'm going to do the work when you sleeping. Why? Because I'm going to do the studying. I'm going to do the research and I'm going to see what it takes to be the best speaker, the best motivational speaker. I'm going to see what it takes for me to be that. So I'm going to be in my books. I'm going to be studying. I'm going to do all those things that I need to do in order for me to be number one. Do I need to be on YouTube and do free shows? I'm going to be on YouTube doing free shows. And that's what he did. Am I going to do a podcast? Yes, I'm going to do a podcast. How am I going to reach people? I'm going to make sure that I'm all over the place. I'm going to make sure that they can see me. I'm going to make sure that they don't have to pay to just see me at a speaking engagement. I'm going to make sure that they can access me on the internet because everybody has access to the internet. Everybody have access to a phone. Everybody has access to me that way. So I'm going to make sure that that's where I show up. So as long as you guys are showing up where you need to show up in your business, you are able to be great. You have everything that you need to be great. Everybody, yes, yes, and yes. Do y'all feel that or no? Do you feel like you have to be born with greatness? Do you feel like you have to be born with the silver spoon in your mouth? Do you feel like you have to be born in a certain class? Like, what do you feel? Do you feel like if somebody can do it, a high school dropout eating out of a garbage can do it? And that's what Eric Thomas says, right? If I'm a high school dropout and I was eating out of garbage cans, if I could do it, if I could claw myself up out of that, to be the best motivational speaker, then that's what I did. That's what I got to do. And I'm going to be dedicated and I'm going to commit to the task and I'm going to do the work and I'm going to stay focused because my family is dependent on me. My wife is dependent on me. My kids are dependent on me. And in order for these things to happen so that they can get what they need, I have to provide. And in order for me to provide, I have to do the work. Yes, yes, and yes. Yes, yes, and yes, y'all. Here she go. Sometimes I get in the pocket. Sometimes I'm in the pocket. Yes, yes, and yes. Everybody in this room, you want to be great. Whatever it is that you want to be, you got it. Right? If it takes for you to learn a different skill, learn it. Learn it. Stop saying you don't know how to do something. Stop saying you don't know how to do something. You could find it on YouTube. You could find it in a book. You could find it in anything. You can find it in real life experiences. If you're working in a job and your job is something in your field, stop looking at that job as this is just being a job. Look at that job and see what you could take from that. Look at that job and see what could you do in your business using some of the tactics and some of the skills that they're doing there. What could you use? Take things away from it. Stop just looking at it as this is just my job and I hate it here. Stop looking at it like that. What could you take from that? What systems can you implement in your own business? What kind of customer service things did you learn? What kind of HR things did you learn? What kind of like back end stuff did you learn? What kind of administrative stuff did you learn? What did you learn at this job? Right? Stop looking at that place as just being a place that you hate. Who needs coffee when we get charged up by Nikki? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Everything, every single thing. Use what you can and use what you will learn in later on in the future, right? Because you're able, if you don't have it, you could get it. If I don't have it, I could get it. If I don't know how to use social media, guess what? I could learn. There's plenty of people who's giving free tips. I don't have to pay for a class. I don't have to pay for a seminar. I don't have to pay for a coach. There's plenty of free videos that I could access and I could start trying them out. The thing is that we consume, and we never execute. We're so committed to consuming information that we never utilize it. We need to get into the habit of, instead of just consuming, we have to consume it and execute. Consume it, execute. You have to do it quickly, right? They tell you the best way to learn something is to keep teaching somebody else. So if I learn something and I'm sharing it with you, I'm keeping it fresh in my mind and I'm teaching you something, which means I'm teaching you and I'm teaching myself again. So that's going to stay fresh into my head, right? So you got to make sure that you guys are doing the work. You got to make sure that you're committed to doing the work. Stop saying what you can't do. Stop saying what you don't have. Stop saying what other people are doing and other people have, and you can't be like that. And they're just so far ahead, and I don't have what they had. And my situation ain't like their situation. They don't know what it's like to be da 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 da. They don't know what it's like to be abused. They don't know what it's like to be left homeless. They don't know. You all of that is stuff. All of that is stuff. Everybody has the capacity to pull yourself up out of the dirt. Everybody has that. It's not just in some of us. Just like Marianne Williamson says, it's not just in some of us. It's in all of us. We're all children of God. It's no exceptions to anybody else. If they could do it, you could do it. We got the same amount of time in a day. What are you doing with your day is the question. What activities are you doing that's going to contribute to your greatness? Or are you doing activities that are going to contribute to your mediocrity? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Are we showing up and showing out? Or are we just showing up so that we don't get fired? I'm just here so I'm just here so I don't get fired. What are we doing here? Right? You have to make sure that you are dedicated to doing the work, motivated to get the skills that you need, put in that work. When I think about Kobe and when I think about Michael Jordan, I think about the work ethic that they have. The work ethic, well, for Kobe they had, right? But the work ethic, right? I think about that. And I liken myself to think like doing business is like being an athlete. Right? You got to do the hard work. When nobody is watching, you've got to do the work. Right? And you got to exercise it. Right? Neither one of them were going to get better if they didn't get stronger. Neither one of them were going to get better if they didn't develop skill. Neither one of them were going to get better if they didn't put in the work. We have to think about us and our business the same thing. The problem is everybody think that we should already have and we should already know how to do things and how to grow. And that's not how that goes. And see, that's why that's the misconception that everybody has with business is I'm supposed to automatically know what I'm supposed to do. And then when you don't automatically know what you're supposed to do when the next step hits, you're sitting there stuck and you beating yourself up because you don't know. And you don't know because you've never done it before. And since you've never done it before, you shouldn't beat yourself up. right? Because you're at a place that you've never been before, but this is a great opportunity for you to look at it and say, you know what, I don't know what I'm doing, so now I need to learn how to do that. This is the perfect opportunity for me to learn a new skill. This is the perfect opportunity for me to enhance what I already know, or this is the perfect opportunity for me to go to school, or for me to try something different, or made an experiment with something different, right? This is the perfect opportunity for me. Stop looking at it as a disadvantage and start looking at it as an opportunity, right? Because we look at things like, why we don't know this. You get to a certain level in your business and you get stuck, and then you're like, well, now I don't know what to do. And you just stay stuck. But if you continue to keep moving and start growing in the direction of your goals are going to start coming to you. The things are going to start coming to you. You start looking up. If you get stuck in business, I guarantee you, if you get stuck in business and you look it up on YouTube or you look it up on Google, somebody has got to have something about that. Somebody has got to have something to say about that. Somebody. Is it a book? Is it a YouTube video? Is it maybe it's a reel? Maybe it's a something, but you can find something. And even if you don't find that exact thing, you can find a glimpse of what you need. And then you can find more after that. You can go deeper. You'll go down a rabbit hole, because that's going to say, oh, you know what? Maybe I'm searching for it wrong. Let me search for it this way. Right. And so you can learn everything, as long as you're committed to learn, and as long as you don't just have the information just sitting there. Because if you just have information sitting in your head, it's wasted information if you ain't using it, right? Because how is it helping you if it's just sitting there and you're not using it, you're not applying nothing? It can't help you, right? It cannot help you at all. If Kobe started he said he was 12 years old and he tried out, he was playing on the basketball team, he didn't make any points. Now, the Kobe that you know today and that 12-year-old Kobe, they are not the same. And not just because there's an age difference. It's a mentality. It's a skill. It's a whole thought process that's different, right? That Kobe that was 12 years old didn't make any points in the game. Absolutely none, right? And the Kobe that has been crazy in the game, you know what I'm saying, is totally different. You know what Kobe said? Kobe said, he decided, his father told him at the end of the game, and everybody needs somebody to believe in them, right? You need somebody to say that you could do this. You need somebody to be like, okay, you got this, keep going. You just, they don't even have to be behind you, be like a cheerleader. Just somebody just say, you know what, you're doing a great job. That makes you feel good, right? That makes you feel good. I'm going to love you regardless. If you win, if you win, or if you fall, if you fail, I'm still going to love you regardless. Sometimes we need that, right? We need that reinforcement. And so that's okay, right? And so his dad told him, he said, I'm still going to love you whether you score points or whether you don't. You still my son. I love you. And he said that right there, that support flipped the switch. And he said, I know that if I'm successful at this or if I'm not, my dad is still going to love me. I know that if I win or I lose, my dad is still going to support me. He's still going to, I'm not losing anything, right? And so that motivated him to continue to work on himself. So what he decided that he wanted to do was, he said, I created a laundry list of things that I needed to learn to make my game better. How many of us are creating laundry lists or any kind of list of skills or things that we need to do in our business to be better? How many of us is doing that? Put a 1 in the chat if you're doing that. Put a 2 if you're not. Put a 1 in the chat if you are. Put a 2 if you're not. You are on the road. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We had a marketing meeting at work. I learned so much. I'm telling y'all use your jobs and look at what you can learn from your jobs. I'm telling you, there's so much valuable information. These jobs, they're paying you. So they have to have some level of success, right? If they're paying you to do the job, right? So look and see what they're doing, because success leaves clues. See what they're doing so that you can copy that. That part, consume and execute. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Your coffee just have fire in it. Hey, I got cinnamon in my coffee. I haven't had coffee, but you know what I'm saying? I got cinnamon. My cinnamon is the spice. This live is fire. Thank you so much, Patricia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, the mama mentality. I am encouraging everybody to start getting, I put the list on on Facebook, the Facebook private group, I finally put up the not finally, I said I was supposed to put it up on Monday, but it's up today. Of the time so that you can get your task done, your top 3, all of that information is over in the Facebook group so that you can start putting yourself in the habit of doing the job and using your time more wisely, being more insightful about your time management, right? And see and actually see where it's at so you can know things that things that are a time suck, stop doing them. Or things that's a time suck, do it on a slower time. Don't do it on a productive time. And so you can see that and you can start changing your schedule around so that you can make it more productive for you, right? So that you can get more out of your day as opposed to wasting the day away, right? And so go get your thing, get your list. And he said he needed to create this whole laundry list of things that he needed to get better. He needed his shot to be better. He needed to get stronger. He needed to be faster. His hands were small, so he had to learn how to grip the ball. He needed like all of these things. And you just think Kobe just became great overnight. It didn't happen overnight. A lot of people are looking at somebody's highlight reel and their success, but you don't know how long they were struggling before they hit that success. You don't know how long that overnight success took to happen, right? We're looking at it and we're just seeing the end results. We're just seeing where they're successful, right? We're not paying attention to the how many business that they may have started that failed, or the jobs that they may have lost, or the things that they may have lost in their life. I'm like, what I'm gonna say? The things that they may have lost in their life. You may not have known that, right? Until they say something, but you're looking at the success and be like, oh, I seen when she started putting out this thing, and look, she's a multi-million-dollar company. A lot of people would think like certain companies like Kaleidoscope and Crayon Case and all of that was just an overnight success. It was not an overnight success. People have regular jobs trying to hustle and do things and have families and do all of the things in order for this vision that they had to come to life. There's a process. And what we're doing is we're trying to jump over the process to get to the success, and we're not paying attention to the work that needs to be done. And that is why we can't go forward, is because we're trying to jump the process instead of going through the steps that need to be taken care of, right? You have to make sure that you take care of these steps. You have to make sure that you are learning along the way. You have to make sure that you're doing the things. You have to make sure that you practicing on your shots. You have to make sure that you practicing on your strength. You have to make sure that you are doing the drills when nobody else is in the gym. You have to make sure that you're going to wake up earlier. The greats wake up early. When you listen to the basketball stories, and I always talk about the basketball and the football because Sean is really into the sports and stuff, and I got a football player son, and so if you look at how their work ethic has revolved, it's like they get into the gym an hour, 2 hours, maybe even more, before any of the rest of the players get into the gym. You know who's going to be great. You know who's serious about their work ethic, and you know who the people who are there just to collect a check, right? And there's nothing wrong if you're there to collect a check. But if you are deciding that you want to be great, then you can't use I want to be great and act like everybody else who's just there to collect the check, right? Because if you want to be great, then you got to do what the great do, right? You want to be a lion, you got to do what lions do, right? You can't just act like everybody else trying to be, the king of the jungle. You can't. In order for that to happen, there's some work that has to get done. And you got to be committed to doing that work. Right? So you need to think about it. Am I here to just collect the check, or am I here to be great? So let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Are you here to collect the check? Do you just I just want my business, and that's fine. It's totally fine. If I just want my business to be enough so that I can go on vacation and do certain things, I just need a little extra money, and that's what I want for my business, that's fine. But if you want to be great and you want to be known as the best of whatever, then you're going to have to change your work ethic. Your work ethic is going to have to change. The way you consume information and execute is going to have to change. The way that you dedicate yourself to certain things are going to have to change, because in order for you to do those things, you cannot not sacrifice. You have to sacrifice, right? You have to sacrifice something in order to get that. In order for Kobe and Michael to be, and they just based on, you could just be on first names, or you could even be on just plain last names. You don't even have to, that's how great they are. You could just say Kobe and Michael, or you could say Bryant and Jordan, and it still means the same thing. It still means the same thing, right? Because they created that. And in order for you to get what you want, you are going to have that kind of mentality. You are going to have that kind of hunger, that kind of motivation. It's got to be in you. It's got to be in you. And if it's not in, you don't have to have what you need immediately. Because like I said, you can learn it along the way. But you do have to be dedicated and committed to the process. You can learn everything along the way, but you do have to be committed to the process. I want to be great and go through what I have to get there, get to where I need. Yes, you are talking to me, sis. I love it. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Remember last night's word. God called you to it, so it is in you. God called you to it, so it is in you. So if you could feel it in your, if you could feel it in your spirit, if you see it in your mind, that's because God put it on the inside of you. And if God put it on the inside of you, you have every single thing that you need to get it, right? As long as you decide that that's what you want to do. You can't be on the fence. You got to know that this is what you want to do, when it works and when it doesn't, right? You got to have that consistency. You got to be disciplined. You got to decide that you want to do the work when you feel like it and when you don't. Yesterday I came on, my head was pounding. My head was pounding. And I was like, you know what? I said that this is what I wanted to do. I said I wanted to show up. I didn't show up, like I had a headache. I showed up in full form, the way that I normally show up. Why? Because I am committed to the growth of this platform. I am committed to the growth of your development. I am committed to, doing the job. I'm committed to this thing because I said that I want this thing. And if I say that I want something and I don't show that I want it, then it's going to be taken away. Why? Because I really didn't care about what I said I wanted to do. There's a lot of the times we put stuff down and we don't commit to it. And we just say we want something, maybe because we've seen somebody else with it, or maybe we think that that's what success looks like to us. And we don't pursue it. Why we don't pursue it? Because the passion ain't there. Right. And so we got to make sure that we are passionate about what, and you don't necessarily have to be like, well, my passion is making candles. I got to make candles. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you're saying, I want to be committed to the task because this is where I want to go and this is how I want to grow. That's it. Everything else will come to you. Everything else will be added on to you, right? Because if you do the thing and you're doing the work with all your heart and all your, the energy and everything that you have, you're going to be able to do it. You're going to be able, it doesn't matter if you know how to do it right now. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to balance your books right now. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to save right now. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to make concrete vessels right now. It doesn't matter if you don't know how, if your candle is, you still testing your candle. It doesn't matter. Just as long as you are committed to the work, you are going to find everything that you need in order to get it done, right? I'm going to get it done no matter what. I'm going to get it done no matter what. Yes? Everybody put in the chat, no matter what. No matter what. I'm going to get it done no matter what. Right? Yes. It's not on you, it's in you. That's right. That's right. So you guys, make sure motivation is going to wear off a little bit, right? But you have to know, I got to dedicate myself to this. I got to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do. I got to pick up the books. I got to take the classes. I got to do what is required of me to do because I got it. I got it. I just need to know that I'm going to stick through this, right? I'm going to stick it out. Why? Because I got it. Do I see it right now? No. Do I see success yet? I may see glimpses of success, right? I may see, I may have pockets of success. I may see it sometimes, right? I may not always see it. It might not be right there because sometimes my negative thoughts, my negative self-talk might be taking over, right? And I may not see it. Or somebody may have said something that may have thrown me off. But if I am motivated to hit that target, if I'm motivated to keep on going in the direction of success, I know that I got to hit it. Why? Because I'm doing all the things that I need to do in order for me to hit it. I'm preparing myself for the greatness, right? I'm preparing myself for the opportunities. I'm preparing myself to be a multi-billion-dollar company. I'm preparing myself to be the amazing speaker that I want to be. I'm preparing myself to be the business owner that has franchises, or I'm in all of the big box stores and everybody is talking about my products. I'm preparing myself to be on the stages and places and things and doing all of the stuff that I want to do. I'm preparing for that, right? No matter what it takes, I'm preparing. Am I and I'm gonna speak for myself. Am I the best speaker right now? No, but I bet you I'm the realest. I'm the realest. Could I be polished? Absolutely. Will I be polished along the way? I may or may not. Right? But I'm committed to show up every day. I don't let me not having, like, I didn't go to school to be a public speaker. I didn't do anything. I didn't even do anything in the realm of public speaking, period. Right? I never wanted to do anything in public speaking. But that's not going to stop me from showing up every morning and giving and coming on with you guys and giving you inspiration and giving you tips and helping you see that you're not the only person in business. That's not going to stop me, right? I'm going to still show up. I'm going to still do the work. But before I go on, I am researching. I am writing out my plan. And sometimes we go off plan, but most of the times we stay on it, right? And even if we don't, I'll come back to it the next day. But I'm writing it down. I'm taking time out to research, to get quotes, to get the books, to be able to have suggestions, be able to, give you guys information. Why? I'm doing the work because I said I'm going to do it. I'm showing up. I'm showing up no matter what. And you guys need to know, you need to show up for your business no matter what. Even if you get in one sale or no sales, you need to show up for your business. You need to think, if you don't know what you do with your business right now, and you in a growth process, everybody's always going to be continuing to grow, right? But if you are in a place where you like, okay, well, I feel stuck, I need to learn something. Don't feel bad that you need to take a break to learn it. Or don't feel bad that you're learning it as you're going along. The store may still be open, but you could still be learning how to do email marketing. You could still be learning how to do social media while the store is open, right? You don't need to completely shut down. You could still be doing it. You could still be doing both. You don't have to do instead of, right? You could still do it together. Right? And so we need to know that. A lot of the times we think that, oh, well, I don't know this, I got to shut down the store. You don't got to shut down your store. You can read a book while your store is still open, right? You can still learn social media while your store is still open. You can learn social media while you're still out doing pop-up shops. You could still do things. You could still show up. You can still show up. You don't have to say, I got to do one or the other. You can do both. Do both. And don't feel bad that you're learning while you're doing this. Right? Do not feel bad that you're learning while you're doing this, because this is something that we all have to do. In order to be great, you have to do the things that the great do. In order to be great, you have to not be great, right? You have to start, you got to start with a blank slate. And we all start with a blank slate. And we just going to add on and add on and add on and add on. We're going to always be growing and always be evolving. If we keep that in mind, that we're always going to be learning, and we're never going to reach the point of, mastery, right? Because even when you reach the point of mastery, you still can learn different things. You still can learn new things. Everything is always ever changing. And you can learn. You can look at other people and see how they did it, how they built this, what did they do? You know what I'm saying? You can look at other people's experiences and say, you know what? Oh, I never thought about it that way. And when you reach that level that you thought was, the hilt, you're going to be like, oh, you know what? Let me try that. Let me see if this works. And let me see what this person did. And let me see what this works. You are always able to learn and grow and do. And so it's 2 books. I've already recommended these books, but if you are new to the group, I recommend that you read The Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. And I also recommend Atomic Habits by James Clear. Atomic Habits, I think I read that book 3 times. Right? That book is an amazing book. If you purchase the book, there's some worksheets and some things, and he also puts you on an email list, so you'll get, different exercises and things that you can do. But those 2 books are really 2 great books. And in the Outliers, you'll see that people don't just become great. You don't just become great. There's a process. There's a journey that everybody has to go through in order to be great. There's some sacrifices that you have to make. Do you think that Serena and Venus wanted to sacrifice their childhood, running around doing kid things that kids do, to go to a tennis court to go play tennis, right? But they had to sacrifice that in order to be the greats that they are right now. And you have to know, did they start out knowing how to play tennis? Absolutely not. Right? They had to learn and they had to grow. Everybody keep that in mind. Everybody who you think is great, I want you to go back. And this is something I just want to challenge you guys on. Anybody that you think is great right now, I want you to go back and I want you to research their story. If they have a book, read their book. If you could Google them and find some information about them, find some information about them and see how they became the person that they are. Right? See what they had to do or what they had to overcome in order for them to be at the level of greatness. So that you can see that it's always a process, and don't feel like you have to know it when you know what I'm saying? Like, if you've never been in this situation, how would you know what to do? It's the same thing with motherhood. Everybody could tell you certain things about motherhood, but then there's certain situations that happen. It's like somebody's gonna be like, oh, I don't know. I never experienced that. You know what I'm saying? It's just how things happen. It's just the way of the world. So with that being said, you guys, make sure that you the two books are Atomic Habits and The Outliers. What else do I want to say? Make sure that you guys put your goals down for the month. Put your goals down for the month in the private Facebook group. I did pin that to the top of the page. So everybody, if you have not yet put your goals up there, just put your goals up there so we can see you're going to work. You're going to see what you want, and then you're going to work backwards. Right? So I hope everybody had a good, I hope I said something that resonated with everybody or anybody or somebody in the room, and you got something, right? You don't have to take everything. Take what you need and leave what you don't, and then come back and get something else, and then come back and get something else. That's totally fine. But we are about to wrap up this morning. I appreciate you guys spending your time with me. If you're catching the replay, please comment below and let me know what you thought about today's live. Also, if you're watching right now and you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your notifications bell so that you can be notified when we go live. We'll be live tomorrow at 7 p.m. 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Coffee with Nikki, your daily cup of information and inspiration. And my friend, I just confirmed, we are going to have the director of the whole Rough Rider movement. He's going to be on next Thursday. So you guys, we are in for a treat for that. And what else I want to tell you guys? I think that is it. So that everybody enjoyed today's live. Let me know what you thought about it in the chat. We still have a few minutes, so let me know. Let me know what you thought about today's live. And if there's anything else that you would like for me to speak on or we should discuss together collectively as a unit, let me know in the chat too. Or you can DM me, because I am open to suggestions as well. I want to talk about things that you want to hear. I don't want to just be talking about things that I want to talk about, because then that's like self-serving, and that's not going to help anybody. That's not going to help anybody. I lost followers and clients. They went elsewhere. Okay. Oh, by taking a break or shutting down? Got you. I got you. I see what you're saying. Yep. I started listening to Atomic Habits last week. It's an amazing book. Yes, it is. Let me see. Great. This was great. Today was much needed. Thank you. This is great. Have a great day, y'all. Have a great day, Jasmine. You stayed the whole time. You said you was popping in and popping out. Yes, I needed this, Nikki. I truly appreciate it. I appreciate you and the gems that you are dropping. Thank you. I appreciate you all. I seriously do. I'm so grateful and thankful for you guys. I want you all to have an amazing day. I appreciate you spending your time with me, because I know that you don't get your time back. So I hope it was valuable, and I hope that you can share it with somebody else. And make sure, if you like today's live, share it with your friends. Tell them come join us over here, because we pop it, right? And so that is it, you guys. Thank you. Have an amazing day. Don't forget to put your goals down on the Facebook group, and also don't forget to download, save it as a PDF, print it out, your planner sheet, So that's it, y'all. Have an amazing day. See you later.